Hey there, it's Leona. Welcome to Zen Mindfulness Shodo. Today, we are going to practice Shodo meditation while focusing on the Kanji character for 2. So, let's begin our beautiful journey together. When you write a character, imagine a square about the size of the character that you are going to write like this. First, I'm going to write it. Then I'm going to explain the points and tips for writing the character beautifully in detail. Let's begin the explanation. The first stroke starts from a point slightly lower than the center point of the top left square, or from a point slightly to the right of that. This line, in extreme terms, is like this, but it's just slightly curved downward, curving down while rising to the right, until the middle vertical line comes to the center. So it moves to the right until the length on the left side of this middle vertical line and the length on the right side are about the same. Now for the second stroke, it starts from a point slightly to the left of the middle of the left half of the middle horizontal line, or from a point slightly to the left of the starting point of the first stroke, where the middle horizontal line is about halfway between the starting points of the first and second strokes. It's a position where the distance from the starting point of the first stroke to the middle horizontal line and the distance from the starting point of the second stroke to the middle horizontal line appear about the same. It's not about measuring with a ruler, but starting from a position that visually looks about right. This line is the opposite of the first stroke, in extreme terms like this, but it's just slightly curved upward, curving up while moving to the right, parallel to the first stroke. When it reaches the middle vertical line, instead of continuing parallel to the first stroke rising to the right, it curves upward, but gently angles down to the right. It continues until the middle vertical line is roughly in the center, or until the space to the left of the starting point of the second stroke and the space to the right of the ending point are about the same width. It should end at a position slightly higher than the starting point of the second stroke. This way, with the first stroke curving down like this and the second stroke curving up, they will appear to be pulling towards each other like this, creating a more powerful impression of the character. If they're not parallel, for example, if the first stroke is like this and the second stroke is like this, or if the second stroke is like this in relation to the first stroke and not parallel, the overall character won't look as beautiful. Although the shapes of the lines are different, with one curving down and the other curving up, the overall appearance should be of two lines that look roughly parallel, which will make it look more beautiful. Why don't you try practicing with these points and tips in mind? The key points and tips for writing kanji beautifully, as explained in the video, are concisely summarized in this book. Additionally, easily understandable Zen mindsets and philosophical messages are shared in this book. For those who want to practice writing directly in this book, I've also prepared a workbook. The writing tips and techniques are the same as in the Zen Mindfulness Shodo book. Each character can be practiced over 3 pages. If you're interested, please see the description. I'm gonna practice 1 page of this workbook this time, but you're welcome to practice as much as you want. If you're practicing with a pen, I recommend that you place a few pieces of paper under the page that you're writing on, so that the ink doesn't bleed onto the page under it. Alright, let's get started.
Before you start writing, take a deep breath and clear your mind. Slowly breathe in as much air as you can through your nose and exhale all the negative emotions that you've been holding until this moment through your month. When you are mentally ready to write, you can start writing. Check the starting point, end point, the angle of the stroke, the direction of the curve. After that, without hesitation, aim for the end point and move the pen smoothly. Try to write much slower than you normally write, putting your heart and soul into each stroke. However, if you move the pen too slowly, the lines will become shaky, and if you move the pen too quickly, the lines will become thinner in areas you don't want them to be thinner. So concentrate on finding the right speed. Once you've finished writing the character, look at the character as a whole and think about what changes you should make next in order to make it look even more beautiful. Of course, you don't have to take all the tips and points that I've told you and copy my way of writing the character. Trust your own sense of beauty and adjust accordingly. It's important that you are satisfied with the shapes of the characters you write. So please use my tips and points as ideas and hints for adjusting the shape of the character to your sense of beauty. Of course, you can't change the shape so much that it no longer looks like a character. If you liked this video, or if you thought the information was useful, please hit the thumbs up button. All right, let's learn and practice together again in my next video. Thank you for watching.